happening?
Hi there.
Hey Joe, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Where are you coming out of?
I am based out of Houston, Texas.
Okay, cool. I've been having a lot of Houston interviews lately.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. All right. Something's in the water over here.
there is something in the water for sure. So, before we dive into your professional life and what makes you who you are, I want to deal with kind of the global elephant in the room, which has been COVID. How did you survive those last 3 years now that the world's opening up, and how did it change the way that you do things now?
Yeah, I want to say, did I survive? No,
Did
it was
any of us,
interesting. I know.
right?
We definitely came out on the other side, not the same. And I can definitely say that that was part of, I do a lot of inner work, and that was part of a time when you couldn't deny the part of really looking inward and figuring out the things that really matter to you and what doesn't matter anymore. And so that was sort of the big focus, I guess, for me when I was in the midst of it. And now I would say the biggest thing is just this idea that we can be much more collectively connected through things like this today, and that remote work is not a thing that only certain people do. We can all do it, and get really creative in how we connect with each other.
I would think with a consultant and a coach, being in that line of work would be a blessing and a curse because while it would made everybody, kind of look within and find that spark within them that needed to be fixed, it also detracted because everybody didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things too is this line of work is incredibly relationship oriented.
Hmm.
And I'm glad you said that, because the first thing I thought of was it really impacted how people connected. Because yes, remote work is wonderful, but also being in person creates a level of comfort and connection that sometimes is missed and in the remote world. And so I really felt like, particularly back then when I was in the corporate world, there were a lot of opportunities that we missed out on because we couldn't be together as a team or a group or creating new relationships and new partnerships. It really detracted from that. And even though we tried to pretend like it didn't.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get to the heart and soul of what you do on a daily basis. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third, fourth graders at a career day. One of the kids looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
Yeah. Well, I hope a third grader can understand this, but I specifically work with high performers, particularly highly sensitives and empaths. And I love to work with them to help them really reclaim their innate gifts. What makes them special? What makes them unique? What makes them, most effective in their world? Because I want them to live, a life in a world where they feel really aligned. I also have, of course, the spiritual side of me. And so I really try to demystify these woo ideas so that it feels more approachable. It feels like another tool set that my clients can use when they're thinking about creating a really deeply aligned life.
So what did you want to be in the third grade?
What did I want to be? I think I wanted to be a vet because I loved animals. Like I was the kid that brought all the stray animals home to my poor parents.
Uh-oh. Excellent. So let me ask you this. Who's been kind of an inspiration or a hero for you in your life?
Oh my gosh. You know, I go back to this, and if you read about my bio, I talk a lot about my mentors, because I really navigated this intense spiritual awakening, and a lot of my childhood, I experienced this before I sort of let everything go. But I was scared of a lot of the things that I experienced. And my own like spiritual life and some of these unique gifts that I have. And some of my biggest heroes have been the people who can hold space for me when I was going through something I couldn't quite understand and wanted to learn more about it. So I have, one of my very first mentors, her name was Karen, and there is something to be said. And we always, I think, can think about like our parents as being heroes, and of course in their own way, but the most profound impact that I've had are the people that can hold space for you and help you grow in a really tough time. And for me, those were my mentors, and particularly my first mentor when I was probably the most out of my element trying to figure myself out. And her name was Karen, and she has been an angel and an inspiration in my life.
So if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now and spend some time with them, who would it be?
Alive. Let me see. Oh, I wish I was so I like there's so many. One of the things that actually the first people that pop up is this group and another podcast called the Almost 30 podcast. And their names are Krista and Lindsay. And I just love what they've been able to build and how they've been able to expand in their own business and grow from a place of their own experiences and their journeys and their own awakenings and create such a powerful community. So I'm really loving what they're doing and really inspired by them.
So let me ask you this. They obviously have motivations. These people that you've looked up to have motivations in their lives. What is that motivator for you that gets you through the day, that gets you to help others, that helps you motivate them?
Yeah, you know, my deepest motivation is knowing that being in this space of your own personal transformation, your own awakening, can be really scary. It can be completely, it can make you feel like you are completely out of your depths or you're experiencing something that you have no idea what to do with. And I remember how that felt and how much the support and mentorship that I received, how much it impacted my life profoundly. My motivation specifically comes from wanting to be the type of person that I needed in my experiences. And so I show up every day, and it's how I did work in the corporate world, being what I needed at the time or what I never got, and trying to show up and be the person that I know I needed in a specific thing. And particularly in my business, I'm showing up and trying to be that person that I needed when I was in their position.
So everyone out there, we have this timeline of things that we've gone through and overcome and achieved. If you were to have a dream tonight, run into the 20-year-old version of yourself, and you could give that younger version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained, what would you tell that young version of you?
The next 10 years are going to be really hard. They're going to be great, and then they're going to be really hard, but it's going to get much better. So just hold on and love yourself through it and go on the ride, because the other side of the journey is going to be far beyond anything you could ever imagine.
So what's been one of the best client success stories you've had? One that consistently will put a smile on your face?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I had this one client who, my favorite type of clients, or the outcomes that I love with my clients, is that I don't just affect their professional life, but I affect, our work affects their like everything, who they are, personal, professional. One of my clients, she had a lot of anxiety. She didn't know sort of like which direction to go when it came professionally. She felt okay where she was at, but then personally, she just felt like everything was falling apart. And by the end of our time working together, even her husband was like, I feel like you were a different person now. You could see her nervous system was calm. She was very clear about what she was doing. And because of all of this, she had this like multi-million-dollar opportunity that came to her because we were able to make so many internal shifts and work to create tools in her toolbox to help her move forward in a way that calmed the nervous system, cleared out old programming, and really let her show up in a really strategic way, not just at work, but also really feel comfortable and at ease when she was doing her daily life. And so it was really neat to see the outcome going from feeling so chaotic and unclear to this really empowered clarity. And through that energy and through her her own, wisdom, was able to bring forward these incredible opportunities that she would have never been able to do unless she had that empowered clarity to really move forward in that really powerful way. So, yeah.
So what are you the proudest of that you've done in your professional life so far?
Honestly, that I quit my job with a team that I loved to go off on my own and build a business that didn't look like what everyone else was doing, and that I am able to blend and understand my clients who are in corporate America or in the professional space, but want to expand, and they feel there's another aspect of themselves, this intuitive or the spiritual side. And I'm really proud that I've been able to leave that space from a really in a positive way, but then create something really profound that really makes me feel good every day that I wake up and can serve and help other people.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you ultimately run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am?
Yeah.
Um, I could probably tell you more about what I think other people think of me. So I love this
Yeah,
question.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I am this person that can like walk into a room and I love making connections with people. I am very relationship oriented. I deeply care for and connect with all of my clients. I don't subscribe to the idea of like we are one person at work versus at home. So you get what you get with me. Who I am with you one on one is who I'm going to be outside of a session. And so there's a lot of transparency, honesty, and trust that I'm always working and trying to create in the spaces that I'm in.
So, Lindsay, if anyone out there wants to hire you, learn more about you, anything pertaining to your world, where can they go?
They can go to my website, and my name is a little complicated, but it's Lindsay, Lindsay dash Leigh, but it's LEIGH.com. And my Instagram, I'm pretty active on Instagram at Lindsay Leigh Official. So follow me, chat with me. I love to, get to know my followers and get to know new people in this space. So yeah.
Excellent. Lindsay Leigh, thank you so much for your time, your story.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Take care,
Thank you.
Joe.
Take care.